show hosts in the world, and he was interviewing Wayne Gretzky. And he asked Gretzky today, are the Blackhawks the closest thing that you'll really see nowadays to an NHL dynasty? Wayne Gretzky said if they win again this year, then yes. It'd be the third time in a 6-year span that they've won the Stanley Cup. And in today's era, and with today's salary cap era, that's one hell of an accomplishment.
Oh, absolutely. To
be as competitive as they've been, to get to the conference finals time in, time out, year after year, is one hell of an accomplishment. So, we'll see what happens there. Now, the Flyers in the news. The Flyers just hired a new coach, and it's interesting to me because GM Ron Hextall, former goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers, you talk about a team that might not ever get there again. Well, they went to the finals and got throttled by the Edmonton Oilers in 1987, and then have not been able to win a Stanley Cup in 40 years. But Hextall, GM for them, hired a coach known as Dave Hackstall. So Hextall hired Hackstall. And Hackstall has the label of being the first coach hired directly out of college into the NHL since the 1980s.
How old is he?
I don't know exactly how old Hackstall is, but
wait, are you talking? Well, he got hired into the lower leagues.
No, he got hired from. He was coaching University of North Dakota. He got hired from there to coach the Flyers.
Oh, I thought you meant
okay. Yeah.
But graduating college, going to coach.
Yeah, no, but he is the first college coach to be hired directly to the pros since Herb Brooks.
College, yeah, okay, got you.
Since going back to the 1980s when Herb Brooks was hired, after the Miracle on Ice situation, hired to coach Minnesota North Stars. It's the first time you've seen it literally in 30-something years. And he's got an interesting out clause in his college contract. Apparently, UND was so worried that this could happen one day that they actually had a clause in his contract that if he does get hired into the pros, he's got to pay them back $100,000.
Ooh.
Now, you know when he negotiated this contract with the Flyers, I'm sure he told them, look, hey, if you're going to hire me, you pay this.
Yeah. That's an interesting clause because they obviously felt that strong about him as their coach that they're like, if we're going to lose him, we need to protect ourselves. I think that's
obviously they thought pretty highly of him.
Yeah, that's a pretty because you got to think it's a lot of those programs are funded by people that are alums from the school or just big money in the area that want to support the school system, and they want a guy who's going to be there long term, not just to dip out and head to greener pastures.
Well, the Flyers claim that Hextall claims that this guy was on the top of their radar all along. This was their guy that they wanted the whole time. You've seen the coaching shuffle. You saw Todd McClellan get hired, former Sharks coach, just got hired by Edmonton Oilers.
Right.
You see Dan Bylsma, a Stanley Cup winning coach for the Pittsburgh Penguins, just got hired today by the Buffalo Sabres.
Oh, I didn't see that
one.
So,
you see Mike Babcock going to Toronto. So you're seeing a big coaching shuffle, and all these big-name guys were getting snatched up, and then under the radar comes this college coach. But, guys, we're going to jump into a quick commercial break. A lot more to get into. When we get back, we've got some technology news on the horizon. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
Tough economy got you down? Are your money problems causing you marital issues? Unable to hide money spent at today's gentlemen's club? Well, you don't have to be a gentleman to come to Gyrations. Gyrations dancers work on a barter system. We only hire single mothers whose homes are in utter disrepair. So if you're blue collar and you have a viable skill, labor leads to lap dances and maybe more at Gyrations.
My plumbing is all fouled up, and I need somebody to work my posthole diggers.
Do you want VIP treatment without sacrificing your kids' education? Well, don't take your tool belt off. Work yourself a deal at Gyrations.
Models are all over the age of 18, except where identification was not present.
Hi, I'm Herschel Cohen. When I moved from the old country to New York and finally to Tampa Bay, it became harder and harder for me to find authentic kosher sandwiches. Finally, I created what I believe is the perfect union between meat and bread. But I realized it was missing something. With the help of my Gentile brother-in-law, Seamus O'Malley, I understood a grape brew was the ideal accompaniment to my kosher delights. That's why we created Hebrews. Here, we have the chutzpah to create the glory of America's past. feast and a great meal with a great beer. At Hebrews, we bring together bagels and lox and beers and shamrocks. Oh, the ultimate mix between two separate cultures in one set of taste buds. Along with Seamus's tremendous zeal in the 12-step program, we're able to merge our Judeo-Christian palates. Don't dine where prices make you say, oy vey. Eat at Hebrews, where your wallet will say, okay. Oh.
Yeah, this is Rob Ford, greatest mayor ever to come out of Toronto for creating this show from what's that place? Biggie, what's that place?
The Lion's Den.
For the Lion's Den. Yeah, they're badass.
Welcome back to the Crane Mission Show, folks. The second half of the show, live here from the Lion's Den. You want to be a part of it, you can call in by dialing 813-438-6068. Ben Charles Miguel Hito, the C-Squared, Caleb Crispy himself. A technology-oriented segment for you right now. There's a professor at Hebrew University of Jerusalem. His name is Yuval Noah Harari. I would venture to say probably not a big fan of Hitler ice cream. But unlike the folks, the nice folks in India, but he claims that the rich are set to become godlike cyborgs within the next 200 years in what would be the biggest evolution in biology. He believes, again, that this radical shift will take place over a 200-year span using biotechnology and genetic engineering. Professor Harari claims that the wealthy will actually transform into a new type of divine, immortal human that has complete power over their life and death. He argues that humans basically have that they can't resist the temptation of upgrading themselves. And I mean, obviously, this is very evident now when you look at the surge of cosmetic surgery and this irresistible desire for people to continue to modify the way they look, to continue to look young. In certain people's cases, Bruce Jenner become a whole different gender. So you're already seeing
Bruce Gender.
Yeah, exactly. So you're already seeing human modification now. I mean, you look at the guy we talked about, the wannabe bodybuilder guy that from Brazil or wherever that was injecting himself with all kinds of crazy crap and almost lost 2 of his arms as a result of it. I mean, what do you guys make of this? I mean, you've seen so many movies that deal with this. Whether it's anime, whether it's stuff like even the Terminator and things like that. You got to figure it is only a matter of time.
Well, it is, and I'm not a huge sci-fi fan because I like real science, but it's proven time and time again that real science is typically influenced by science fiction. Some of the things that have come out in the last 20 years were predicted or displayed in science fiction years and years ago. So I'm not surprised by this at all. But I will tell you, one person that's not going to be on that list is the guy that wrote this article. I don't know if you've got the article pulled up there, but
I do.
You notice the fantastic Photoshop job he did there, where he basically just snipped a rectangle image of the Terminator and placed it over half the guy's face.
Yeah, you would think for such an accomplished, and it's not even level. Like the eye,
it's not.
Like none of it's level. The only thing he did is he lined up the smile, but the eye is completely below.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a horrible Photoshop job, but look, it's human modification. You mentioned, Caleb, the inventions that seem to almost be inspired by sci-fi. Look at cell phones.
Yeah.
Cell phones were unimaginable at the time. You look at Star Trek, and they had the little...
Except for Zach Morris. He had a cell phone.
You had the little transponders and all that kind of stuff.
Or you have even, video phones. We're in movies in the...
They're talking to each other on a screen, right? Like, Captain Kirk flying the ship, and they're talking to him on a screen. Now you've got Skype and stuff like that where people are actually doing this type of stuff. So I don't really find it that unimaginable. Just last week, guys, we're talking about the bionic contact lenses.
Yeah.
Well, it's only a matter of time where you go from. I don't think it's much of a stretch to go from a bionic contact lens to a bionic eyeball altogether.
Yeah, well, they've already got prosthetic limbs that can read your nerves. If you lose a hand, it's a hand that you can actually control with your thoughts, just like you would move your real hand. Obviously, you have to retrain your nerves to activate it, but it's already there. You know, and I guess what this article is probably saying that goes further on with that is that by this time they've found a way to, prolong life with it rather than just better your life like a prosthetic would or things like that. But
now I'm willing to bet, because of where our scientific priorities lie, and that is with vanity and prolonged sexuality, I believe, this is my prediction, Professor Ben Charles, who has no scientific accolades whatsoever, this is my prediction. My prediction is that the first bionic part will be the cock. Think about it. Science revolves more around
Actually,
hair
if you
restoration.
really think about it, it was the heart.
this is true.
Yeah, that's true if you look at pacemakers. But if you think about science nowadays, it seems to be galvanized by vanity. It seems to be galvanized by hair loss, by making sure that you are able to bang girls down. And we got another text from Lord Cheese.
Yes, Lord Cheese. A bionic penis is just nothing more than grafting on a vibrator.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go grab one out of Lady Cheese's toy store. Toy chest.
Get the big sticky tower or whatever.
Now, Lord Cheese, if you are going to venture into a chest for anything, hopefully you don't find ball gags. That's all I just have to say.
Nice like 50 Shades.
That is like 50 Shades. And I understand you're going to regale us with your review of that movie later on, Sancho.
I'm going to be the great, what's the guy that lost his face?
Oh, come on. Really?
That's the guy. He lost his face. He's cancer. The movie critic. Ebert.
Oh God.
Oh, dude.
How did you even know that?
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, Mr. Ebert.
Yeah.
Now, we were
What's
talking.
so wrong? He lost his face. He's smoking cigarettes or something?
Yeah,
Dude,
that,
just, oh, God.
Now,
I'll turn it off.
We were talking about the cell phones, guys. And look, cell phones, obviously, they're mini computers. I mean, it's not even just about making phone calls anymore. It's about everything else that we can do with them. Who knew that a cell phone could save your life?
Literally, not. I mean, we all think that we would die without them at times, but
Right.
this actually did save a life on this.
This is straight out of Chester, England. I'm not sure exactly where that lies. I wanted to look at a map ahead of time to see.
I'm sure we'll be getting a text soon on that.
Yeah.
You said it's Chester, England. How's that spelled? Is that Chestor?
Shut the hell up.
Shire?
No, it's not. Chester.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Well, that was the Gloucester. How do you spell Gloucester? Glouterche.
Gloucestershire.
Gloucester.
Gloucester. And where's my bell for that one? I just won the spelling bee on that one.
Oh,
Could you-
John. Hey, John lives in Chester.
Oh, really?
John, who is in the chatting box, and Nicole Newton also. Thank you guys for listening. John lives in Chester, which is apparently on the Wirral. You know what? I bet you John's with me right now. John, do you? If you don't live in Chester, you can suck it. Anyways, which along with Mr. Cheese, you can suck it, both of you. So apparently, this guy, these teenagers had shut off the water to this guy's apartment block, and the guy kind of went outside to find out what the hell was going on. And turned out this kid, his name is Ryan Dugan. He was 19 years old, and a couple of them attacked this guy and pulled out a sawed-off shotgun and shot the guy in the chest. And he happened to have his iPhone in his pocket, and the shotgun literally, and it was like buckshot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a slug, thank God. But the iPhone took the majority of the blast. It literally took it right under where the camera would be to the body, and there's all these little freaking pock marks of indentation, and it saves the guy's life, which is insane. I mean, the guy's he did have some pretty heavy injuries, but it did save his life, which is insanely remarkable.
Now, I gotta wonder, did he have an OtterBox on the iPhone? And the reason
Life-proof?
well, yeah,
No, he had a regular iPhone with just a green back on it.
really,
Yeah, that's
wow.
like a 5C.
because
Green 5C,
as a guy that has shattered 5 phones in the last year. I have been assured that this OtterBox is indestructible and I can no longer break my phone.
Apparently, John is telling the truth. Well, I'm going to hold it. You know, I do need an OtterBox. I need a new phone.
Wasn't cheap, by the way. These things are expensive.
Oh, hell yeah. They're like
now,
$50.
Lord
aren't they?
Cheese bought the Life Proof, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he
And
get
it
the-
didn't